Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode of I Track. Yo, huge shout out to everybody that's just tapped in, man. Shout out to all the members. This is your first time here. What we like to do is take a look at the most interesting and creepy videos from all around the internet, kind of evaluate for ourselves whether these are fact or fake. Let's run up 5,000 likes, hit that hype button for me, and subscribe if you're not a part of the iTrack fam, and let's go ahead and get right into it.
This is not AI. This is real. This is the Artemis 2 emergency egress system. This was taken during my own recording of the Artemis 2 launch, and I didn't even notice it. A lot of people are having some wild theories about this, but there's nothing weird about it. The emergency egress system is designed to take crew or personnel from the rocket or platform down to the ground level in case something were to happen. During liftoff, it automatically goes down empty so it doesn't get damaged from the intense heat of the launch. And as you can see, they are in the Orion capsule and they're on their way to the moon in the first flyby mission of our lunar sister in more than 50 years.
I mean, if you say so, buddy. As of right now, the whole moon landing thing 2.0 is going to get added to the conspiracy list for sure.
Oh my God, look at that picture over there. There's the Earth coming up. Wow, is that pretty?
This is Earthrise, the first colour photo of the Earth from the moon. It's the first time humans ever saw our planet like this. It was shot in 1968 by the crew of Apollo 8, the first mission to orbit the moon. Now NASA's Artemis 2 astronauts will be flying around it for the first time in 50 years.
We were aiming for a point 69 miles in front of a moving moon. And I think we fired the spacecraft engine something like 4 minutes to slow down enough to get in lunar orbit. And then we looked down and there was the moon. One of the things that struck me was there's absolutely no color. On about the 5th or 6th revolution, we looked up and there was the Earth in the background.
Oh, I got it right. Oh, that's a beautiful shot.
There was a scramble for the camera, and Bill Anders took the picture. The contrast between the distressed moon and the beautiful blue Earth was remarkable. The Earth was the only thing in the entire universe that had any color. It gave us all a sense that we live on a fragile planet, that we have limited resources, and we better learn to take care of it. I don't think any of us had paid any attention to the fact that we would be going all the way to the moon and be more interested in looking at the Earth.
When Artemis 2 does launch, astronauts will be looking back at the Earth again. So expect some fresh new shots.
Life just got even thinner.
Kind of sounds like Sam Altman is taking a page out of Elon Musk's book. Elon Musk has been on this for a long time now. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there already are a few people using Neuralink as I speak.
A Japanese biologist wins a Nobel Prize for discovering how the body eats its own damaged cells whenever it doesn't receive food. Now imagine being so intelligent and so wise that people don't even understand why you told them to do the things that you told them to do until 2,000 years later. If you know, you know.
He didn't come right out and say it, but I'll go ahead and say it if you didn't catch on. He's talking about fasting. I'm a big fan of fasting. I have done many fasts in my life, and I definitely think it brings you a whole lot of clarity, and it does clean up your health in many ways. So definitely don't sleep on that.
Nobody can explain what's hovering over Kazakhstan right now, the 5th of April, 26.
Время kaçta çalışıyor?
This morning we're going to have a classified briefing on the objects that were shot down over the last weekend. First of all, I don't know why it's classified. I do not believe that any of the information that they've shared or are going to share with us is going to be the kind of thing that has to be kept secret. There's very specific reasons why things are classified, and this doesn't meet the standard. Maybe I'm wrong. We're going to find out. Second is this is pretty extraordinary. Okay, this is not just a curiosity or into weird stuff about UFOs and aliens. For the first time in 65 years, the United States has shot something down over our airspace. Not once, but 4 times. And 3 of those 4 things, we have no idea what they are, and people deserve to know what they are. I mean, it's pretty extraordinary. You're launching at least $800,000 missiles off of fighter jets over American airspace. That's a pretty big deal. We need to understand why we did it and what these things are, where they come from, who owns them, who made them, why are they here. And perhaps the explanation is easy, and maybe not. The point is that these are important things that the American people deserve to know and that they deserve to hear directly from the president about. Not a political thing here. Okay, people deserve to know, why are we shooting things down? If it's serious enough to shoot down, it's serious enough for you to know something about it. Look, this is a topic I've been on for a long time, right? Because this is not new. It may sound new, but it really isn't. We have been seeing objects flying over restricted airspace in the United States for a long time now. No one took it seriously because immediately it was about UFOs and flying saucers and aliens. And that's not my concern. My concern is that some other country has developed a capability to monitor and enter our airspace, and that we are not prepared to identify it because they have figured out a way. You know, we're looking for airplanes, we're looking for missiles. We're not looking for objects that don't fit that criteria. And strategic surprise is the way a lot of wars start, and it's the way a lot of wars and conflicts are lost. So these are important questions that need to be answered. But you deserve to hear directly from the president and from the administration, not from spokespeople, and not with double talk and not with unnecessary secrecy. We'll see how this hearing goes. I don't have high expectations of it.
Now, I don't believe that this clip is new, but this is the first time I'm seeing it, so I figured we all take a look at it and kind of connect some dots.
A random truck on the road is going viral right now, not because of what it's carrying, but because nothing about it makes sense. Yeah, there's a T-Rex on the back, but that's honestly not even the strangest part. First thing, people noticed there's a sign on the truck that literally says, "This is not a horse, it's a dinosaur."
Here is a crazy cryptid encounter that was just released on December 15th, 2025. This is the dogman of La Cueva del Alacran. A man named Martin Alvarez is the one who took the images. 3 images come with this encounter. The uploader states, quote, "The photographer, Martin Alvarez, claims he captured the photos deep inside Cueva del Acan, a little mapped lava tube system near the Cerro Castillo range in southern Chilean Patagonia. Alvarez says the expedition was never meant to chase monsters. He was documenting rare mineral formations and acoustic chambers when he noticed shapes in the backgrounds of his shots. They were tall, hunched silhouettes with elongated arms and wolfish profiles," end quote. After he took pictures of the cave, though, he went back home, thinking nothing of it. Until he went back and looked at the images the next day. That's when he notices these strange silhouettes. So he returned back to the cave the next night to see if he could figure out what was causing these anomalies. This is when he recalls the creatures came out and he got clearer looks at them. There were 4 of them, but he only photographs 1. He recalls these creatures had glowing eyes and would crawl along the cave walls, climbing in ways no human could. And as he walked away from the cave, that's when one of them followed him out, and that's when he took these 3 pictures I've been showing. It slowly followed him, but not too aggressively. So were these creatures that Alvarez was encountering really dogmen? The half-man, half-canine hybrids that are said to roam throughout the Americas? If so, it seems this cave is home to a whole pack of them, hiding out and thriving inside.
They definitely should start exploring these caves the same way they're exploring that deep ocean, because I'm sure there's creatures inside these caves the same way there's creatures inside the deep ocean.
In a brand new interview, NASA's administrator didn't deny aliens, and you can hear it in how he answers a question. Listen carefully to this.
Does the prospect of alien existence factor in at all into how we plan NASA missions?
I would say it goes to the heart of many things that we do at NASA. I mean, our job here is to go out and try and unlock the secrets of the universe. And one of those questions is, are we alone? So I would say that is inherent in every one of our scientific endeavors. It's inherent in our mission.
Are we alone?
I've been to space twice. I didn't encounter any aliens up there yet. I have not seen anything to suggest that we've been visited by any intelligent life forms out there. But when you think about it, we got 2 trillion galaxies out there. Who knows how many star systems within each of it? I would say the odds that we will find something at some point to suggest that we are not alone are pretty high.
That was Jared Isaacman, and earlier today he appeared on CNN and CBS. Today is day 4 of the Artemis 2 mission, so they talked about a lot, but he was asked directly about alien life, and his answer was very carefully worded. He said the odds we're not alone are high. This is central to NASA's mission, and that he hasn't seen evidence of alien visitation. Now, one of those statements is particularly interesting. I haven't seen anything to suggest we've been visited. So he didn't say there's no evidence. He said that I haven't seen. And that's personal, right? That's not coming from an official document statement from NASA. He's not denying alien life. He's only denying one thing, that something has visited here. That's a much narrower answer. Very interesting. Now, you could say that this is over analyzing, but when language from an institution, especially like NASA, gets that precise, it's usually very intentional. Now, maybe it's nothing, or maybe it isn't, but let me know what you think he meant.
Now, he made a good point. When any of these 3-letter agencies come out and speak about what's going on beyond our knowledge, you gotta look a little bit deeper into it, because a lot of them are doing that double talk thing. They're giving answers, but indirectly.
Well, an American woman has proven age is truly just a number, officially breaking a Guinness World Record by holding a dead hang for nearly 3 minutes. 90-year-old Anne, a lifelong athlete from Ohio, held the position for an impressive 2 minutes and 52 seconds. She says she only started training for the challenge in February.
Most of the comments on this video swear it's AI. It's not. Meet the Black Widow. These bad boys are only found everywhere, which is unfortunate, especially because this is the most venomous spider in all of North America. Drop for drop, their venom is 15 times more potent than a rattlesnake. Not to mention, the venom is a neurotoxin, which means it paralyzes its prey. So fun. But this is where things get crazy. And that's because their venom is not only a neurotoxin, but it also contains a digestive enzyme, like our stomach. Which means when they insert a bite, this enzyme will literally liquefy the inside of their prey. And then the Black Widow will just drink their insides like a smoothie, no matter what it is. A bird, a rodent, a snake. I never knew that. And I live in this region. Anyone looking for a house? Moral of the story, once again, this is not AI. I wish it was too. And as always, follow for more facts.
You guys are talking to us because we're in a spaceship really far from Earth, but you're on a spaceship called Earth that was created to give us a place to live in the universe, in the cosmos. Maybe the distance we are from you makes you think what we're doing is special, but we're the same distance from you, and I'm trying to tell you, just trust me, you are special. In all of this emptiness, this is a whole bunch of nothing, this thing we call the universe. You have this oasis, this beautiful place that we get to exist together. I think as we go into Easter Sunday, thinking about, you know, all the cultures all around the world, whether you celebrate it or not, whether you believe in God or not, this is an opportunity for us to remember where we are, who we are, and that we are the same thing, and that we got to get through this together.
Well, for someone who didn't have anything prepared, that was really quite extraordinary.
The industry called this the decoy effect. That middle option, the one that makes no sense, exists purely to make the large option look like a steal. It's not there to be bought. It's there to change the math in your head. When you see a medium soda that is only 10 cents cheaper than a large, that medium isn't a drink. It's a decoy. It's a mental nudge whispering, look how much more you get for a dime. You'd be silly not to.
If I say that the world is round and someone says it's flat. That's Word's report.
Should we still debate whether the Earth is flat?
It is the highest height.
The sun went around the Earth. Everybody's, hey, that's scientist. Well, he's so smart.
Other science refuted it.
Right, but back then...
We're going to the moon.
This time, we think that the Earth goes around the sun.
An overwhelming science that the Earth was flat, and there was an overwhelming science. Ignorance. Yeah. You learn over time. So we're the center of the world.
We're just taking an authority's word for it, and all we're saying is be skeptical. Sure. And while you're being skeptical, there's a bunch of evidence that's totally against the mainstream.
You get caught jaywalking today, your entire digital life is in federal hands within 24 hours.
For jaywalking?
AI automated subpoenas. A minor incident gets flagged, auto-approved. Suddenly your 30-day location history, purchase history, and call logs are exposed. Mass surveillance isn't coming. It's here.
The security camera footage, they're filming it secondhand from their cell phone, so they're actually filming the screen where the security camera footage is, which to me adds to some legitimacy of it. But you see an apparition start to form on the other side of this gate and walk to the end of the gate there, and then watch what happens. The apparition goes straight through the gate and walks. Now you can clearly make out the shape of a person, and walks, becomes transparent, moves off screen. Now they're zoomed in, and again it does appear that this person is on the other side of the gate, because you don't see, you kind of make them out a little bit, and then they walk down the rest of the way before going transparent and disappearing off screen. So as you kind of see their head here as they start to move, now they could be on this side of the gate. It could be that it's just transparent. This figure is transparent so you can see the gate through them. But when they get about right here, that's when they start to take on a slightly more solid shape. You can see it kind of forming, and then it really forms into the white apparition right here. Also very interesting that there appears to be a light in the middle of their body. Now if I were to play devil's advocate, I could say, just like the last clip, that this is a bad camera and that is a person and that they're holding a flashlight. However, you don't see, if it is a flashlight, you don't see the light from the flashlight hitting anything else like the trees or the ground or anything like that. You could clearly make out the shape of a person. We've got a torso, we've got legs, we've got a head, maybe some arms swinging a little bit there. But then they start to go transparent. They start to go transparent, which could be a camera glitch or a camera effect, but they start to go transparent before disappearing off the screen there. So very, very compelling and interesting and creepy clip. I want to know in the comments down below, what do you think about this clip? Is that actually authentic, compelling footage of a white ghostly apparition moving around outside at night, or was it simply a person and a bad camera, or some other explanation? Let me know what you think in the comments down below.
Hey, now we've all seen cameras glitch, but there definitely was something that walked through that fence and then started to disappear, and I don't think cameras glitch that hard.
Can you tell the difference between a crow and a raven? I mean, they're both big black birds that appear all over the country, so what's the difference? Well, you can start by looking at their feathers. Ravens have diamond-shaped tail feathers, whereas crows have square or fan-shaped feathers. But what if they're not flying? Ravens have decorative throat feathers. They're not as smooth as a crow's. Also, their beaks are normally bigger and wider, and they sound different. For example, this is a raven, and this is a crow. Crows sort of caw while ravens do a croak that to me sounds like a goat. But there's also one key difference that'll make telling them apart extremely easy. Their size. Crows are medium-sized birds, whereas ravens are huge. A raven's wingspan can be twice the size of a crow's. There's even a saying to help you remember this. If you have to ask, it's a crow. If it's a raven, you'll know. And you can follow me for more interesting videos.
Want to see the world through a different lens? Check this out. This is from far away, and this is up close.
People who are 1 in a million. Javier Bote. He was diagnosed in childhood with Marfan syndrome, a condition that causes the bones to grow beyond normal. This resulted in a height of around 2 meters and very low body weight, creating a unique appearance, although not extremely rare. This syndrome affects a small portion of the population. What's most impressive is how he turned this into an advantage, building a career in the film industry. He stood out by portraying striking creatures in movies like Slender Man, Annabelle, and The Conjuring 2.
It actually looks pretty rare. Out of the hundreds of thousands of people I've seen in my life, I haven't seen anybody with those kind of body characteristics.
This oil rig camera caught something interesting. Now I want you to pay attention to this fish that looked like it got shot with an arrow underwater. Now look at this. and you gonna see a creature come by and snatch them up real fast. Now, to me, this looks like a mermaid. Watch this. Look at that. Now, can't nobody explain what that is.
I'll be honest, it looked a bit small to be a mermaid, but what do I know?
Someone said the Smithsonian must have missed one. Look at what this person finds in this crevice while in Mitora, Greece. A giant skull that fell down who knows how long ago. And if you look, they're about 100 yards away from this crevice. So that head is estimated to be twice the size of a human skull, which is exactly how many different ancients described the size of some giants. Twice the size, some were 3 times the size, double rows of teeth. Look at this freaking thing, dude. Giant skull found in Greece. And guess what? The ancient Greeks talked all about freaking giants. Also note, you can't really get up here. This isn't part of the tour. It's kind of a spire sticking up out of the ground. And furthermore, the person who uploaded this said that God guided their gaze to this spot. They saw it with their eyes first, and then they said, hold on a sec, zoom in. It's a freaking giant skull. And by the way, before you think, that's impossible. Dude, look up the newspaper articles since the 1800s. There's been hundreds of articles about giant bones, giant skulls, everything found, boom, bang, bang, all across the United States, all across Europe, let alone the ancient texts like the Bible, and even the Quran talks about it. I'm pretty sure even the freaking Talmud mentions giants. It was common knowledge back then. Cain and Abel, you got Jack and the Beanstalk. How many fairy tales? I'm just reading fairy tales now, and I'm seeing that so many of them are talking about giants. Fairy tale. They duped us, man. People thinking giants didn't exist or weren't real, yada yada. They freaking were, but the problem is that if you find out that giants are legit, it'll make you question the official narrative of how history unfolded, and their whole charade falls down. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and follow for more.
Get 5G. 6G will kill personal privacy. Researchers from Nokia Bell Labs are turning Wi-Fi and early 6G into X-ray-like radar that can map your body position, heartbeat, and movement through concrete walls. They're using your phone sensors, smart speakers, and computers to track all your internal movements, even inside your home. There's already an open source tool called RuView on GitHub that can turn your router into one of these radars right now. It's coming fast, and if you don't act, you'll be opted in by default.
In this footage, recorded by scientists from India, you can see something living moving along the cave walls that is of colossal size. This country has many caves, and many of them remain unexplored to this day. For example, giant bones have been found in them, but it is unknown what creature they might have belonged to. Also, large burrows are often found in these caves, as if someone lives there. And this may seem strange, but researchers have encountered unknown creatures in caves more than once. The locals even have a belief that visiting the caves is dangerous, and people have disappeared there more than once. However, some tourists are skeptical of the locals' legends, yet they have repeatedly recorded strange videos where they observed not only unexplained appearances of strange creatures, but also mysterious ancient figures made of stone. But the latest case, where a real humanoid was caught on camera, shocked everyone. We recommend you watch the full footage on our channel. The link is in the profile.
I think it's good for any Coney Barrett that she is there. There's only a handful. Usually there's a larger number of justices at this. There's Kavanaugh, who he has indicated as one of his favorites at the moment because he voted the way the president, or his opinion went the way the...
Well, we have some crazy things happening in the world right now. A Dutch-born woman that's been living in Switzerland for over 3 decades was denied her Swiss membership because she was annoying. Community residents in Switzerland have a say on whether someone in their community should have citizenship, and she was rejected because people just didn't like her. Pope Leo publicly demanded priests to stop using AI to write their sermons. For months, people who have been calling the Washington State Department of Licensing and have been requesting Spanish by pressing 2 have instead received an AI English voice that was heavily accented in Spanish. A man's automated AI agent bought him a $3,000 course because it felt like it needed to learn the knowledge behind that paywall in order to help him. So AI is just like humans, buying really expensive courses that they probably don't need. Women 40 and older are now giving birth more often than teenagers for the first time in US history. My name's Adorian, follow me to stay in the loop.
This occurred in Newport Beach, California. It looks like a illuminating cloud of smoke in the sky, or some type of cloud, weird cloud. Or maybe it's a tree, a floating tree. What do you guys think it is?
You are looking at the latest model of robotic bird spying drones. This footage comes from research published in the prestigious scientific journal Nature. This next gen of bird drone can not only fly like a bird, but walk and perch like a bird as well. Although these drones are getting better by the day, this concept is not new. Bird animatronics go back hundreds of years. But now these centuries-old curiosities are evolving into something far more advanced. Spy tech that can blend in with nature and be almost indistinguishable from real birds. I wonder how many bird spy drones are already out there.
Shit. That's a fucking bobcat. If he come over here, he blasted.
Now, if you think you're under surveillance in a big city, you're probably under much more surveillance out there in the wild, in nature, and by some predators that are actually take your life.
Somebody put it up there. That is freaky.
So Candace Owens came out and said she thinks these individuals are hybrids, meaning not human. Very interesting take.
I'm telling you, I don't even think these people are human. Like, I look at Elon Musk and Sam Altman and Peter Thiel, and I'm pretty sure they're hybrid. You know what I mean? Like, they just look like an Apple software that I should be able to download at night, you know? Like, my phone's getting an update or something. It's something in the eyes. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I know I'm human, but I don't know if I stabbed you if you bleed, you know? I'm not going to stab them. But I don't know if they bleed all the way. I think a battery would fall out. You know what I mean? And I just get that sense. I've always known it was demonic. And people just get on board because, as we talked about in this book, they are using science and this idea of technology and this idea of transforming society for the better to indoctrinate us into accepting this. And it's wrong and it's backwards. And the main component of all of this is psychology. Right? They're able to do it because of psychology, making you think that society has gotten better. Our kids have objectively gotten dumber. We've become fatter. We've become less healthy. We've become less emotionally sound.
One of the reasons Candace Owens has blown up so quickly, outside of her speculations of the actual people, a lot of her points can definitely be verified.
Oh, you're not in just a hill.
Let's open our minds for a minute here. What if aliens aren't actually extraterrestrial? Respected ufologist Jacques Vallée spent decades researching these type of encounters, and his conclusion is kind of unexpected. He believes these experiences may not be from outer space, but something more interdimensional. Throughout history, people have experienced very similar encounters, but they actually referred to them as something else, like angels, spirits, and even folklore beings. Some people believe that these beings take forms that we're able to perceive or that are more relevant to the current times, for example, ETs. So according to Vallée's theory, maybe this phenomenon has always been here, just showing up in ways that we understand. So we're obviously being visited, but by what? What do you guys think?
Myth number 1 is about Van Allen radiation belts being impassable.
Yes. The Earth has a magnetic field, and so it traps radiation from the sun, from all over the place, into these donuts around the Earth. The transit time, you can actually calculate the transit time. We're going at about 11 kilometers per second. You spend about 8 minutes through the core and about an hour through the whole thing. What I found was really funny was the Artemis 1, which is the mission that preceded Artemis 2, they had mannequins called Helga and Zohar that had active dosimeters, which are, radiation meters.
If you've watched Chernobyl, it's the things that always go click.
Yeah, 3.6 Röntgen.
Yeah.
Yeah. The preliminary data from those dosimeters show that the shielding and the short transit time is enough to keep that dose well within safety limits.
If you have had a CT scan, you've had as much radiation exposure as Van Allen belt.
Yes. And I mean, you do it so that the trajectory of the mission actually avoids the big part of that radiation belt, right? You know where the donut is.
Yes.
And you can figure out how to avoid it.
Do you believe that giants once walked the earth? Every single ancient civilization without contact with each other told the same story. Giants once walked this earth, but then they disappeared. That's either the biggest coincidence in human history or not a coincidence at all. The Bible calls them the Nephilim, born of angels and human women, violent, massive, unstoppable, until God flooded the earth to wipe them out. There's also so many flood stories. Let me know down below if you want me to talk about that. Ancient Greece had the Gigantes. Norse mythology says that the first living creature wasn't a human at all. It was a giant named Ymir. Native American tribes across the United States, nations that never met each other, all described a race of enormous, red-haired, cannibalistic giant beings. And this is the part that gets really weird. Back in the early 1900s, they started finding these gigantic skeletons all over the place. Over 1,000 accounts of skeletons being found that were over 7 feet tall. And they all really ended up at one place, the Smithsonian. And all these bones are gone. Not misplaced. Gone! Researchers have tried to figure out where the hell all these skeletons went, to no avail. We literally just don't know. So maybe the oldest story in human history is a story they just don't really want us to know.
One thing to definitely note while we go through this whole journey of conspiracies, a lot of different cultures are all saying the same thing. And we've noticed this throughout time and history. So something has to be true in there.
Where's all the satellites? There's supposed to be like 14 to 15,000 satellites. I don't see one.
Yo. That is a freaking orb. That's an orb being chased by a helicopter. What the hell? That is a straight up orb, dude. Being followed by a freaking helicopter. What the hell? I just now pulled up. Smells like something's burning. That is nuts.
We see something looking down from the ceiling and then slithers out of sight. Later they film a rather nasty looking gray face peering inside of the bedroom from the rooftop. Now, where did the thing go? There isn't exactly enough room to hide when you're up that high. Did they capture something paranormal that night? You be the judge.
So I'm out minding my own business. Y'all see the Coca-Cola building there, and there's Georgia Tech. What is this? What's flying in the air? What the hell is this? And it's like a pole going down, but it can't. It's impossible. That cannot be anything that's that high, like erect. That's Coca-Cola, honey. That's 20-something floors. So that's in the sky. What is this? Come on, Zoom. Don't fail me now. Oh, no. What is this in the sky? And, of course, when I zoom in. Okay, I'm going to take a regular video and then zoom it in when I get in the house. But you see Georgia Tech? Something's flying over, but it looks like something's hanging down from it. And it's lighting up right in my face. Okay now. Okay. We all see this.
Any of the iTrack fam that is close to Georgia Tech, if you can dispel what she's looking at, definitely let us know in the comments. Well, you guys, that's another one in the books, man. Hey, I appreciate you guys for always stopping by, watching, and learning with me. If you haven't already, let's run it up 5,000 likes. Hit that hype button for me and hit that subscribe button if you're not a part of the iTrack fam, man, and I will definitely catch you on the next one.